Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, whenever you are. Thank you for watching my videos. My name is Da Vinci Jeremy. I'm in the pipe 5x5. I'm going to be talking about why Bitcoin should be used as the monetary unit you save for retirement. And it could be a shocking thing for most people who are in this current financial system, who are, saving for retirement with stocks, saving for retirement through their government pension plan, or using their pension plan that's like a 401k or RRA or RRSP for Canadians. It is done by everybody, basically, that standard way of planning for your retirement. And this has a lot of negative downfall to you. One, if you get sued, they could come after that. Two, if you get divorced, they could come after that. If the government doesn't like you, they could come after those assets. Now, if you use Bitcoin, they can't come after those assets, especially if you don't buy with an ETF or something like that. This is a key thing, right? You want to protect your assets from confiscation, which is practically a guarantee in our financial system. It is sad that it's like that, but that's just the way it is. And so effectively, I want you guys to understand that this is the best asset to store your wealth in. You could also store it in gold and silver, of course. They will do extremely well in the coming years, but not as well as Bitcoin will. And we'll talk more about that in 1 second. I switched seats because I'm testing out a new environment with new camera setup, and I'm going to continue with discussing why I think Bitcoin is going to do extremely well in the coming years. And it's really simple. It is going to be used as money. And you can have doubts about that, and I understand that because you're so used to our current form of money because throughout your whole entire existence, it's all we've ever used. But here's the thing. Throughout the entirety of existence of people, we've always used gold. We've always used silver. And yes, right now, you can't use gold and silver. Why? Because to transfer it to someone anywhere around the world, you need some sort of third party. You need governments involved, right? And even with governments involved, it could get stolen along the way. If you try to transfer it to somebody on the other side of the planet. Also, it'll take a long time for them to receive it. This slows down progress and the ability to create value for other people. So Bitcoin solves that and also solves the trust issue of trusting some third party to transfer. This is also the problem with our current monetary system. You need a third party to transfer your wealth from one place to another, and that third party can't really be trusted. Why? Well, because they get free bailouts. They steal your money, right? They steal your wealth, they run out of money, and then, oh, sorry, we don't have any more money. Can we get a bailout, please? In some cases, they go under, and then you lose everything at the bank account, but that's very few and far between. That's unlikely to happen. What most likely to happen is that they get printed a bunch of money and then they basically are solvent again. This is what's happened to Deutsche Bank. This is what happened to, a whole bunch of other banks in the United States, such as Bank of America, JP Morgan, and so forth. So with that said, this constant bailout of the banks will continue until you realize that this is destroying your wealth. And most people won't realize that until it's too late. But hopefully, with you watching this, you will realize that and understand that your house is not a piggy bank. The only reason why your house is going up in value is not because it happens to be in New York. Well, yes, it will go up in value in New York, but that value is not real. What do I mean by that? That it's being overvalued, extremely overvalued, because of the money printing. People go into debt to buy those houses and then inflates the price. Once that stops happening, the price of your house will diminish significantly. So this is why using your house as a piggy bank to save your wealth for the future is a bad idea, because eventually, I don't know when, eventually that will all come to an end. Yes, I'm in a new location because I'm testing some cameras once again. And yes, it will come to an end, all this money printing, and then people will not be able to buy houses at these inflated prices. Instead, they'll be able to save money and buy them at the price that how much they're earning. And you know, the majority of people do not earn a lot of money. And so effectively, the value of a home will drop significantly. And that's coming in our future. And so if you're not prepared, you could see a huge loss in your wealth. This is why big companies such as BlackRock is buying up Bitcoin. You're like, wait a second, I'm buying Bitcoin from BlackRock and they're holding it for me. No. They're not giving you that. they're giving you dollars. That's okay. I'll be able to buy whatever I want with those dollars. As soon as confidence is lost in those dollars, right, which they're only subject to owe you dollars, even if their houses that they've purchased, BlackRock's purchase, goes down, if the offset of Bitcoin will offset any value loss in the housing markets. So they're fine as they buy up houses with debt by printing more money. So effectively, you need to store your wealth in gold, Bitcoin, or any other asset that is difficult to purchase with debt, or else you will see a huge loss in your wealth when the system comes to a crashing end, which it will. It will end because you can't continue to bail out the banks and print more money forever and ever. You can't bail out the governments by printing more money, but allowing them to continue going into debt forever and ever. This will end, and you know it. You know it internally. It's time to wake up to that and do something different. Because the system will end, you need to protect yourself. You need to own actual assets that have value. Now, it doesn't have to be Bitcoin, of course. It can be artwork. It could be collectibles that you know that other people are interested in, and you know a bunch of people that are interested in that same collectible as well. That also works very well. However, the best asset, because everybody will need it, is Bitcoin. Bitcoin will be the money because it is the standard system of transferring wealth everywhere in the world. You can't find another asset quite like Bitcoin. Why? Because Bitcoin is the most secure. You could say, well, I'm likely to use Ethereum or Solana because the proof of work is faster. Yeah, but you can get a bunch of governments together, or even just one, actually. Just one government, big enough, right, which is the United States or China, and they can go after the people who are providing the staking in order to create the consensus rules and say, hey, we're changing the consensus. And we're going to get people to believe that this change is correct. Now, with Bitcoin, even if people believe the change is correct, it will not work. If a 51% vote against a change in the Bitcoin protocol will not be enough. Even a 60% will not be enough, because the majority of people, the 40%, will stay on the real Bitcoin protocol, whilst all you rest of you guys get screwed over, right? Because we'll sell into the real Bitcoin whilst you guys hold the fake Bitcoin. There's no stopping our current Bitcoin system It is the de facto standard of money for the future. If you fail to recognize that, if you fail to understand it and see it for what it is, well, you will be either regretful, like the people who I told to buy at $1, or you'll be one of those people who just didn't know about Bitcoin and just say, how was I supposed to know? How was I supposed to know? Yes, that is always the case whenever there is a black swan event, and people will say that about the collapse of the US dollar. They'll say that, how was I supposed to know? The information was out there, just like when, Hitler took over in World War II, the information was there. The writing was on the wall. You were supposed to know. Now you know, the writing's on the wall. The information is there, right? If you don't share that information with your friends, and if they hear it and they go, that's their fault, they'll still say, how was I supposed to know? But hey, at least you tried. At least you told them what you knew. All right, with that said, make sure you save Bitcoin, you buy, use dollar cost average. You be like Michael Saylor. You buy the tops, you buy the bottoms, it doesn't really matter. You will do well in the very end. And that's the hardest thing to do, is to buy and hold, because although it seems simple, it's always difficult, because there's always going to be an emergency. There's always going to be something you need money for, and you're going to be tempted to sell Bitcoin. Please don't do that. Hold your Bitcoin for the very end, and you will not regret it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.